My wife wants to give her dead husband's surname and also his feminine name to my baby girl. After many arguments, I told her that I would divorce her before she can do that. My wife and I had difficulties in conceiving due to an accident I had when I was younger. After 3 years, we finally had our daughter 3 weeks ago. Baby and mom are home and healthy, but I have been on the couch due to an issue over the surname. My wife was previously in a long-term relationship with her ex who self-deleted due to mental health issues after he returned from service abroad. Her son from her first relationship lives with us and is 12 in a month's time. Her son has her ex's surname. She wants our baby to have her ex's surname. She still goes by that name, so that her son doesn't feel left out from his new sibling and future siblings, and because he had a better name than mine. I tried to compromise by saying since I practically raised her son, he can have my surname. That way he won't feel left out, and she can take my name too. She said no, as he has had his name all his life and shouldn't have to change it to appease me. I tried to explain that they have two separate fathers, so it's natural that they have different names. I suggested she use her maiden surname and hyphenate it with mine for our baby, and she can hyphenate her maiden name with her ex's for her son. That way the siblings will have almost the same name. That was turned down too. We have to register the baby's name next Thursday. I told her that we should probably get couples therapy and, in the meantime, register her with my name. She turned that down too and said she went through the trouble of carrying her and pushing her out, and she should get to decide this on her own. I even asked her son, and he said he doesn't mind having separate names as he knows his father was his father, but I am a dad. He doesn't care if his sister has a different surname. I told my wife this, and she said I am emotionally manipulating her son. We had an argument 5 days ago and haven't spoken much. I didn't want it to continue like this, as this should be our happy moments. 2 days ago, I told her that the baby either gets my surname or we are getting a divorce. I told her that perhaps her dead husband could help raise our daughter with her since she doesn't want to acknowledge me as the dad. She called me a manipulator and says it's not fair that she doesn't get to decide the baby's first name on her own or the surname. Her suggestions for the first name when she was pregnant were feminine versions of her ex's name. Think Alexis, Alexia, Alexandra for Alexander, and his actual name if we had had a boy. Today I called a solicitor and she overheard. She is telling me that I am forcing her into a corner with this name thing, even though we went with her choice of first name after I sifted out the one similar to her ex's. And my choice is a middle name. I just want some outside opinions on whether I am doing the right thing. Like, what am I doing with life anymore? It's so messed up. Edit number 1. She is 43. Most of her life was under her maiden name. She has gone under his deceased ex name for about 10 years, but she didn't officially change it until she added her ex-husband first and middle name to her son's official name when he was 7. Then she changed hers too. We were dating and exclusive, but I didn't mind thinking she was doing it for her son. It has only been her legal name for about 6 years. She also wanted to give our daughter a feminine version of his name and the exact same name as her ex's if we had had a boy. Best comments. Wait, hold on. Is this a case of her never changing her married name back after the death of her ex? I understand her wanting to keep the same last name as her son, and I feel like the hyphenation is great compromise. It's ridiculous for her not to compromise. Yes, she kept her ex's name, and I was fine with that as she explained she wanted to have the same name as her son. But it seems she was keeping it for other reasons as she thinks it sounds better than mine. It's extremely weird that she wanted to give his first name to your daughter. Literally, what the F? In the beginning, she did bring him up a lot, and the suicide I was okay with, but a few years and I had to talk with her. She brought him up less and less. Then she changed her son's name, and also her own. I didn't mind as she wanted the same name as him, and she was married to him, so I figured it was okay for her to change it even if she did it years after he died. When we were discussing marriage, she said she didn't want to change her new name to mine as mine is just bland. I didn't mind. Romantically, we were okay. We had a period of dead bedroom, but fixed our issues without therapy. She likes that I am good with her son, but won't let me adopt him. This caused a rift, but to keep the peace, I backed down. While trying for a baby, we were more like roommates, but she really wanted a baby, and so did I. We were overjoyed when we found out it was a girl, as she always wanted one. Making a list of names and middle names caused some arguments, but not major ones. Update number 1, 14 days after the first post. A quick update as my DMs were full of requests. From the advice given on here, I contacted the registration office, and they told me that as long as you are married, only one parent is needed for the name registration. I wanted to appeal to her better nature and got her, mine and her ex's parents involved. Her sister tagged along for this mediation/discussion. Turns out my parents, and my 3 siblings via group chat, are the only ones that agreed with me on either my surname or her maiden name. Her parents and sister, also her other siblings via group chat, agreed with her, saying I should do it as she was the one that carried her. Surprisingly, her ex's parents thought it would be a nice gesture to name my daughter with their surname, and to my shock revealed the first name I agreed to that was her suggestion, which wasn't a female variant of her ex, was the name her ex wanted to name their child if they had had a girl instead. She blushed when that piece of information got out when I called her on it. I asked her if it would be fair to name our daughter after one of my exes, to which she replied that I only had a body count of 3 and that 2 had the same name and both names were ugly. When everyone left, I tried to reason with her, but she slammed the bedroom door in my face and locked it. During the discussion with the parents, I tried asking her ex's parents if they would be okay with me naming their grandson after me after I adopt him, and they said they would never allow either adoption or name change. When I asked them if it was fair for my daughter to have their name, they said they felt their grandson was closer to his sister than I was to her as a father, and both should have the same surname. They also ridiculed my choice in both first and middle name for my daughter in addition to my surname. This is a couple that I up until that point had a reasonably good relationship with. I raised their grandson as my own and was very surprised that this is how they felt about me. In the morning, she didn't come out, and I left her breakfast by the door, hoping she would calm down enough by the time we would register to discuss it as adults. A few of her friends phoned and asked me why it was so important for me in present day to give my surname to my child. I explained my side and why I had reservations. They still felt I was being unreasonable. On the Tuesday before the name appointment, Thursday, she picked a fight with me and said she was going with her original name, female version of her ex. She went as far as saying that she would rather unalive herself than give her daughter my name. So, I am a little ashamed about this, but as I pictured that she would no longer be in my future, I called the police on her saying she threatened to self-delete. I am not proud of this. They came and took her despite her protesting. She was okay, and it was only said in the heat of the moment. I guess I egged on the police, telling them it could be PPD and that I felt it was not safe for her to be around our baby. I registered the name on my own without her blessing and participation. She was still not released by then. Our daughter's first, middle, and surname are all chosen by me. She obviously has some unresolved issues, and I hope she gets the help she needs. There is something wrong with her, as she instructed her ex's parents to collect her son and my daughter to look after via her sister until she could get out. When her ex's parents came by and tried to take the baby, I told them to F off. They threatened with police, and I told them to go ahead. So, they left with their grandson. Her parents came by during the weekend and wanted the baby to take to her, telling me not to be difficult. I told them no. We had a visit by a health visitor and the midwife. When she was released, she didn't come home and went to her parents. She has been there since. Although she tried twice to take the baby from me, I changed the locks. She did drop off expressed milk for the baby and has continued to do so via her sister. I contacted a solicitor for the divorce, and for now, I am keeping the baby, as even the health visitor said that social services are going to get involved due to her mental state, and I am the better option for care for now. There is no saving my marriage, and I doubt she ever loved me with other things that have come out since then. I will always love her son and hold out hope that someday, when he is old enough to make his own decisions, he will seek me out. But as my solicitor put it, don't hold your breath for that to happen. My older brother and his wife are staying with me to help out for now. Their children are all teens, and they have done this new baby thing 5 times, and all their children made it to teenhood, so I am listening to all their advice. So there it is. Best comments. How did you convince the police to take her? And where did they take her? The police make that call, depending on the situation. First time I have seen it happen. They asked me if I thought I could support her, or if I thought she might succeed if I went to take a shower or something. I said no. They took her to a cell overnight, but the next morning she was taken to a mental health assessment. I think she was seen by a psychiatrist, but she changed her next of kin from me to her sister despite us being married. They might have suspected she was a danger to herself because they kept her that whole day and night after the psychiatrist reviewed her. Don't know what they did as I wasn't there, and when I phoned to check up on her, they said they couldn't give me that information. I did that when she threatened to unalive herself. It was not my call, but one the police made. She was released, but will get follow-up help with her issues. In the UK, an individual can't do it. The authorities make the decision.